like to introduce the one, the only, me.
Hey, squiddies! It is Trey, Tattoo Squid Podcast, here with Dave from Beer in Front. You always gotta have your beer in front of you, So, how you doing, Dave?
Good, brother. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
problem.
it.
Yeah, and you're kind of confined to the house, as not house arrest, but just
Yeah.
confined to other like COVID wise.
Yeah, I've been it's been 3 months into it. I missed a lot of work. It's I mean, all the like fever and cold shit, that's all gone, but I get like these bad headaches. They pop
Uh,
up now and then. Like my sense of smell is still jacked. Like for a while, it was like almost a good month where I quit smoking like 5 years ago, but the only smell I had in my nose was cigarettes.
yeah.
And it's like no one in the house smokes, no one in my building smokes, but that's
Oh.
all I had. And I talked to my doctor. He's like, yeah, he's heard of other people. So, just hopefully, day by day getting better. But yeah, right now I'm stuck in the house with my dog. She's sitting here next to me, like taking a little nap, and all is good. I have beer in front of me, so I'm good.
Yeah, there you go. They'll be like, all right, Dave, I'm just going to be right here for a little bit.
Yeah,
If you need me, I'll be right down here.
yeah,
He's like, okay, that's fine.
yeah.
But, yeah. Now, what kind of dog you got?
She's a rat terrier, so she's a
Oh,
little gangster.
yeah. They're a little, I think they're a little bit mean, aren't they?
We rescued her. She was like a homeless dog out in Alabama.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's great with people. If you came over to the house, Trey, she'd love you. She loves people,
Oh,
but
okay,
she sees
cool.
another dog, she goes crazy. So we
Oh,
kind of have to keep an eye, like we watch when we take her out, make sure there's nobody else around.
oh, that's true.
Uh,
That's true. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, in the house, she's the most loving, sweetest little girl. But yeah, she sees another dog, she's going after it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like us, like, like, hey, what you want? What?
Yeah,
That, I get it.
yeah.
No. But no, my brother had a dog a long time ago, and now he has a new dog actually. But a long time ago, he got a dog. He was rooming with this like around I don't know, not college, but he was living in a house with like four other guys, and this is back where we're in Long Island,
Mhm.
and they went to the city and they found this dog, roaming around like the city and everything. It was all mangy and whatnot, and they felt bad for him. So then they brought him in. They got into the car, and then it's like, well, he's not gonna go anywhere. So then they brought him home to Long Island, and they brought him to like the vet, and found out that the dog was probably used for dog fighting or
Yeah.
dog training, kind of like
Mhm.
fights. So like put in the thing and just whatever, and you know, then they clean them up and nice, and the dog is like fast but wild as it
Mhm.
is, so like he'll get excited. Every dog gets excited, but this one
Yeah.
just runs, jumps all over the place, and just like and the butt dragging on the floor like as
Oh
soon as he
yeah.
runs, like the what they call them zoomies, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they named him Albany, because they
Okay.
found him in Albany. So
Mhm.
why not call him Albany? And he was like, and I loved the dog too. We called, he's just running around and loved my dog as well when I had mine, and we all got along. So it was all good. Now he's got some kind of oh, I'm not even sure what kind of dog it is, but it's a big black dog now. I mean, it's a puppy, but it looks bigger with the paws.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They got those big paws that like
Yeah,
their
yeah.
paws
So
are like adult paws. Yeah.
yeah, for a puppy though, and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, that thing's gonna be huge. And then so I'm like, well, what's the name? And it's like, it was like a Hawaiian name, like it means like peace and something. And I'm like, huh, okay. So, but yeah, me and my girlfriend been thinking about getting a dog, but once we get a place like a house,
Yeah.
we'll do that. And we figured if we get a dog, now we found out we were gonna get like what the hell do they call them? No, the house, like we were gonna get like one of those mobile houses,
Okay.
mobile homes and all that. But then the people there, they got their own rules, as it is. It's like, well, you can't have a big dog. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We're not gonna have a big dog. And it's like, but why not a big dog? It's like, oh, well, they look aggressive. I'm like, that's only if you make them aggressive. That's what
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then we figured, well, just get the small one. So she wanted to get, oh, what they call them, they're, oh, they look like little fucking horses. I guess I don't know. She's
Yeah.
gonna yell at me later on saying that you explained it wrong. But me personally, I was like, let's do a Pomeranian. You
Mhm.
know, I don't know. Looks like an Ewok.
Yeah.
Yeah, and call him, and then but we were gonna call him Dude.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah, no, she's the perfect size. She's like 22 pounds. So if she gets rambunctious, you could still pick her up with one hand. Uh,
and,
yeah,
but
like calm down. Yeah,
is it like the we code and you pick him like this, like okay, like
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and you're like okay, take it
yeah.
easy.
She doesn't like being picked up. So,
Oh, well,
you
there
know,
you go.
yeah, so
Only
you just
only
pick
by
her
you
up and
though. Only by you.
yeah, like my wife can pick her up, I can pick her up,
Yeah.
and then yeah, that's it. Other than
Yeah.
that, no, she doesn't want anything to do with it.
No, but we could. If Dre does it, yeah, there
Yeah,
goes an eyeball.
yeah.
So Dave, what do you do for fun? Besides, and I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, you know what? I just like drinking beer. So,
Yeah.
so is there anything else that you do for fun? Like when you can do fun?
Yeah, I mean, I like going to shows. I like going to concerts. Like going to ball games. I live in Chicago, so there's ball games galore. Whether it's baseball, football, basketball, hockey,
Yeah.
uh, concerts. That's like you out in Long Island. It's the benefit of living in a big city. You have
Yeah.
the world is your oyster. You could go. Hey, I want to catch a ball game today, or I want to go see this band, or
Yeah.
whatever. You can do it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's like doing that, catching a ball game. I work in for an airline, so I haven't done it in a while, but used to be able like I would fly to places, catch a ball game, catch a day game, and fly home and be home that night. So that was cool. Like saw some Yankee games, went out and
Oh yeah.
all over the country to see different ball games. So yeah, that's really what I like to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
I mean, it's always like, see, and because this was cool. That it's like the show. The show is like a late night talk show host kind of thing, And then you go down there, we just talk about something, and then you could be like, oh, it's like, listen, I got a book coming out, and yeah, yeah, or something. But you got any like new plans for your show? I mean, we're going to get into your show, in a little bit, but uh, you got any plans for like what goes on for your show?
Uh, I'm actually branching out, and funny you mentioned it. Like this week, I've had the show just hit my 2 year anniversary a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
and it started right before the shutdowns and everything, where you initially wanted to go to places and shit
yeah,
like that, and then that all got you know postponed for a little bit. So
yeah.
I have two in-person interviews coming up this week.
Okay.
There's a place that makes the yeast for beer, and they make yeast for all these different world-class breweries, and also for people that like to brew at home.
Yeah,
So I'm going to talk to them about like the different breweries they work with, and for people that want to like start doing home brewing,
yeah.
they'll give you some tips and tricks. So I'm going to talk to him. There's a brewery by me that is having their anniversary, so I'm going to talk to that brewery owner and
Okay.
talk about their anniversary plans and shit like that. So it's branching out, going to get out more, talking to different people out in the wild as opposed to just sitting here on a Zoom call
Eh,
or
but
talking
it
to
is.
myself, which I do half the time. Yeah,
Hey, it is what it is. It's like
yeah.
now when you started doing we call it the show as it is and all that. What brought up the name? Oh, I mean it's probably obvious. Beer in front. Okay, the beer is in front of you, kind of thing. But when you started it, was it because when you started it, that's when everything shut down and
No, it's you know I don't work in the beer industry. I'm just a regular guy like you.
yeah,
I like beer. I like the different types of beer. I like the different styles.
yeah,
But a lot of people, they make it more than it is. They try to rate these beers on, oh, well, last year's beer was better. And all it's too fucking complicated. Just enjoy the beer that's in front of you. If what's in your
yeah,
glass is a good beer, then
yeah,
it's a good beer. Who gives a shit how it was a year ago? So
yeah,
just
yeah.
enjoy the beer that's in front of you. And that's how I came up with the name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when you we call it when you started the whole thing. started with beer in front and all that. Have you done the podcast like for a long time, or just when everything shut down?
I literally started it like the end of February 2020. So I had like 2 episodes in the can,
Yeah,
and then it's like, all right, well, now what do you do?
yeah,
So it's like, all right, you just kind of have to pivot and go with the flow.
yeah.
And, so I'm like, all right, well, I'll just talk about like beers I like, old school beers. Like, it's not just craft beer. I've had Schlitz, I got a Schlitz
Oh
hat
yeah,
on.
all the good old
Talk
Schlitz.
about, like Budweiser, old style. Like I'll talk about
Yeah.
older beers and then new beers that I really like.
What was there was an old oh my god, I forgot the name. I had it in my head and it just went bing. Uh, oh my god, well anyway, my friend has every year, I think Labor Day. He always has like a party. There's a bartender friend of mine, and Meisterbrow, that's the name. Um, and every time, when he has this party, he goes, "Listen, everybody, bring your own beer," which everybody does.
All right, yeah.
So you bring your own beer, and then you go and you bring, and then he has like a little alcove, like in his living room. So everybody puts the beer, and it's like all the way to the ceiling, as it is. And then you're like, okay, where should I put this? And he's like, just put it anywhere. Just make sure it doesn't fall down. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So you do the whole thing. He's got like jello shots made up. He's got like food. He's got barbecues. Each part of the room has, um, a little mini bar.
All
So
right.
wherever you go, there is a bar. And then the pool has a bar. It was crazy. But he would go and and then the DJ, is like, big guy comes up and he's like, it's like, let's get something to drink. I'm like, all right, we get some rum and cokes and we do this and mix drinks. And he sees this case of Meisterbrow. And he goes, the fuck is a Meisterbrow? And I'm like, well, it's beer. I know that. He goes, yeah, but we don't. That's old. Like back then, it's like old man beer.
Yeah.
So, and everybody has their certain beer that is old man beer. I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, nowadays, like if I drink like Bud Light or something, oh, that's an old man beer. Now everybody's getting all those uh. You're the
Drinking
man
like
of the
White
beer.
Claw and shit like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
White Claw and one of those imported things. You go to a bar, you're like, oh, let me have one of those import beers or the IPAs
Mhm.
or the whatnots or whatever. So then the Meister we saw, and he goes, you know what? Nobody's gonna drink this shit. And he goes, well, the one guy is. And you're like, no, he's gonna have two, and that's it. It's gonna sit there. So he ties it up, puts it up there on the tree, hoists it up. And he goes, okay, we're gonna do a pinata. And he goes, how much do we have for kicking this can? And we got like about $50,
Mhm.
and then we just whacked the hell out of it. And the guy
Oh,
just
yeah.
looked at it, it's like, that's my beer. It's like, you brought Meisterbrow. Why?
Yeah.
But and then you got your Joe shots, and then you know girls making out, and everything started looking fine.
There you go.
It was a fun by all, and I love it when you say pivot. Then I thought about Friends. Pivot.
Yeah.
But so what kind of beers do you go in? Do you have a collection of beers? Do you collect the cans? Do you,
No.
you know?
No. I mean, I try to find a lot. Chicago's a great beer city where there's a ton of world class breweries here. So I try to do a lot of like local stuff.
Yeah.
I do like, you mentioned IPAs. I like IPAs. I like the
Yeah.
bitterness of that. But I like everything stouts, porters, regular old school Pilsner. You know, I
Nice.
like them all. Sometimes, depending on the weather, if it's 100 degrees out, you don't want to drink some big heavy beer. You want
Yeah.
to go, lighter. So some of it depends on the time of year too.
Yeah. So, Dave, you look like you're a camping looking guy. Don't you a camper?
I've gone a couple times, but I've, been in the city my whole life. So,
Oh, okay.
we got, a little backyard. That's about it.
You,
Yeah,
you,
not
you
the,
you look like you're like a little bit of cousins of Grizzly Adams and
no,
and the
no,
bear.
yeah, no, I wish, no, yeah. city boy my whole life.
Oh, there you go. Because it's like, holy shit, man, he's been living out in the wild there for a while.
Yeah.
But and Ben, Big Ben, okay. No, but I'm writing down. It's not. I'm not a therapist, so I'm not writing this down for like therapy, kind of shit, whatever. This is for the episode art, which you've probably seen on Twitter a couple of times
Yeah.
here and there, and and a lot of people are like, "Wow, he's really good at doing that episode art." I'm like, "Oh, I just keep on doing it now."
Yeah.
So, trying to get something down here, the rat terriers, the little smokes, the this and that, the pivot, maybe get a little friends kind of thing. But do you, what do you like about like movies and all that? What kind of type of movie does the guy from Beer in Front go and watch with
Yeah.
whatever beer?
I haven't. I don't know. I guess I'm like an old soul. Like I couldn't tell you new movies to save my life outside of like the Marvel ones or James Bond shit like that. But
Oh
most of the
yeah,
movies I like, the old Clint Eastwood, Good, Bad, and the Uglies.
yeah,
Hunt for Red October is one of my favorite ones. I'll watch that one all
nice,
the time.
nice.
Like Godfather, shit like that. So mostly, I'm more old school movie guy.
Oh, okay, there you go. But when you go and watch a movie, would you go and mention like something to people like, listen, like, when you go watch this movie, you gotta have a nice stout, or you gotta have a nice pilsner, or what kind of beer. I mean, yeah, there's other people that like certain things, but
Mhm.
do you give your opinion like, listen, do this, have this kind of beer, and
No, you know
this
what?
is nice.
I'm not going to sit here and shit in anyone's milk. If you like a certain type of beer, then good. Then as long as you're enjoying yourself, I'm cool with that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to like and what not to like. Everybody's taste is different. The stuff I
Yeah.
may like, you may hate. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the way the world goes. So, as long as you're enjoying it, I don't care what it is. I'm cool with it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And also we call it what your favorite music.
Uh, More old school punk, like Social Distortion,
Oh,
punk band. They've been around since like 79, 80, something like that. Older punk music, older, rock and roll, Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, guys like that. And punk rock would be my favorite style.
ah. What's your favorite since we were talking about like you were talking about baseball and everything else, so obviously it's probably like Chicago Cubs maybe or
I was a
yeah.
big Cub fan. The owner cries poor all the time.
Yeah.
And they have more money than God. They want to buy a football or a soccer team out in England. The owners have so much money. I'm tired of them. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of more, following the White Sox now. They got a young, up and coming team that play more exciting baseball. But for the first 50 years of my life, I was a solid Cub fan.
Yeah. Oh, White Sox, we call it put it on the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I got like when I was married, we had we call it my wife had now I gotta remember how this goes. There's a older brother, then there's her, then there was a sister, and then there's another brother. One, two, three. There's like four brothers after that.
Okay.
So, and each one has a favorite baseball team. So it's not the same one. It's different. And I'm like, so who likes what? It's like, well, the older brother likes the Red Sox and the Mets. I was like, okay, it's like, well, then I know my wife likes Yankees like I do.
Mhm.
And then the sister, I think she's neutral. She's not real. No, I think she's Yankees. I'm sorry. So, and then you get to the other brother, which is like likes the Oakland A's, Athletics. Oakland Athletics. People, if you know what I'm talking about, Oakland Athletics. And what's the other one? The other guy, well, he's in the baseball sometimes, but he's more into hockey, so it's like the Maple Leafs.
All right.
And then there's the other brother. He's like a Mets and Chicago White Sox. So that's how I knew about the put it on the board because he's like put it on the board. He just
Yeah.
screams it. And then there's the younger guy we call it, and he's a New Jersey Devils hockey fan. So he's not into baseball, but there's a lot of different sports
Yeah.
fanatics. But when it comes to like when we get like our ass kicked by like in Yankees and all that, and then we get that call, and you're like it's like yeah, hey, it's like yeah, yep. they fucking suck. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
ah fuck, all right, whatever,
Yeah.
So like screw you, and then they just come over and they start, as you go, saying shit in your cereal, or piss in your Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, but now it's weird. Like I've been in Chicago my whole life, so I was a Cub fan, Chicago Bears football fan,
yeah,
but I also love the Yankees. Like the Yankees are my second favorite team,
yeah,
and the New York Jets. Always love the Jets from Joe Namath on, even though most of the time they suck. But I've
yeah,
always been, you know, I mean, if the Bears were to play the Jets in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna go for the Bears, being from
yeah,
Chicago, but I'm always, rooting for the Jets or watching the Jets whenever they're on. The same thing with the Yankees.
yeah, because when they're like looking at me like, oh, what's your favorite like football team? And I'm like, it's like, well, it has to be like New York, and I'm like, no, not really, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what's yours? And I'm like, the Saints, and was it now the not the Los Angeles Raiders, but now it's
The
Las
Vegas
Vegas
Raiders. Yeah.
Raiders, Vegas Raiders. So I'm like, like that. It's like, well, why? I'm like, well, it's like I like the uniforms. They're nice and dark. That's me. I'm a dark person. I like horror
Yeah.
stuff. I like horror movies. I like everything Halloween. So it's dark. It runs in my DNA. That's
Yeah.
so that hence the whole thing. But do you have like what? Well, tell us about beer in front. What do you do with beer in front? What's the whole premise of your show about beer in front?
Every week I still, as I'm sure you do too. Every week you try to figure out, all right, who the fuck is listening to this show? You
Uh,
try to, you want to know who your audience is, so you could try to tailor it to them and get more listeners. I'm not that smart. So, you know, I think it's like roughly I get half of people that are in beer, half of people that are not in beer. So
yeah,
I try to talk about like some of the news that's going on in the beer world, and then just specific beers. And I don't want to make it too complicated.
yeah,
uh and like I said, it's just mostly it's a personal opinion. I may like this beer,
yeah.
you may not, but I'll tell you like what it smells like, what the taste is, stuff like that. And if that's something you think, oh, maybe if I see this one, I'll try it because I heard about this, then I'll grab it.
Oh, so you're like
Uh,
a connoisseur.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
like right now, I'm having a guy on later in the week. We're gonna talk beers from Poland, Polish beer. So I have a Polish beer right here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk to him later in the week. We're trying to, with the time difference and everything else, coordinate our schedules because he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'd love to, we'll talk about some beers from Poland." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
yeah. That's crazy. I mean, we call it.
Yeah.
I've had guests where they were like from different. Like what was it? I had one from South Africa.
Mhm.
Like you said, the time difference is
Yeah.
so like crazy. You're trying to figure it, And actually, I met a person that's from Australia,
Mhm.
um, and I wanted to see, but I think she's going through what you're going right now.
Yeah.
So she's going through the whole COVID thing where lack of sleep, some headaches here and there. She's feeling better, I guess.
Mhm.
But it'd be cool to go and have her be on, and somebody from Australia. And then I had England, uh, Canada. A lot of people are like, oh, Canada's a different place. I'm like, yeah, of course, but
Yeah.
they want to talk French.
Right.
But I don't know about French. I know about French fries.
Yeah.
I know about French toast. But ooh, and that reminds me, I got like this cool meatballs with the flavors of maple and French toast.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so it's like, and, if I drink beer again, it's done deal. It's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as it is, we call it, I don't drink anymore. But actually, comes to mind, we call it a. You have any fun drinking stories? Like, you ever got to the part where you got so fucking shit faced, and then you're like, I was like, I can't believe that fucking happened, or whatever.
Oh, there's many times like you don't want to know how the fuck you got home. Uh, it was the last time I was really bad was about 3 years ago, and that's I mean, I stopped drinking for a couple months, and now I'll have a couple a day, and that's it. You know, you get to the point where one, you're too old to. It takes you too long to recover from it. Two, it's
True.
like, what the fuck am I doing? Sitting here and have no idea how I got home. It's like, nah, I'm not doing this shit anymore. So I've calmed down a lot. But yeah, there's too many nights where you just wonder, how the fuck did I get home? You open your wallet, like, where's all the money go?
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah.
See, I was like the cheap guy we called. I would go and bring just $20 and that's it. $20
Yeah.
to the bar. And they're like, well, why don't you bring more? I'm like, $20? That'll give me two pitchers of beer for myself. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm good for the rest of the fucking night.
Yeah.
Because you get a pitcher of beer and then like a small fucking nice little mug. You feel like a Viking. You know.
Yeah.
Or if you do like I used to do, and just drink the pitcher with a straw, and
Mhm.
and then you get shit faced a little bit more,
Yeah.
But that's why they gave me a curly straw. They gave me a straw. It's like, no, don't use the little one. Here, use the. We bought you a straw. I'm like, really? And I'm like, oh, okay. And they gave me a straw, and it was like those Taco Bell curly straws.
Oh, yeah. That's what we used to have as kids back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like when you're drinking your chocolate
Nestle
milk.
Quick. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
chocolate milk kind of thing. But this one it was Halloween, so they had like an eyeball that was like in the middle of the swirly. So all of a sudden there I am, like sitting there, got my pitcher of beer, and I got the thing like that, and I'm like drinking it. I'm like, all right, cool. Then all of a sudden I can be able to take the eyeball out, and I just roll it down down the bar table. And they were like, "Hey, how you doing?" Son of a bitch, what the fuck was
Yeah.
that? And it kind of worked out. I'm like, "Excuse me," and a friend of mine will go by because he only had one eye,
Mm.
so he'll go into his screen. He goes, "Excuse me, did you see an eyeball go by here?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hold on. And they're like, "What the fuck is that
Yeah.
shit?" So, but it's like, what is your now? I know you're home and you drink at home and everything else. Did you ever have like a favorite bar that you go to, prior to this whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a brewery that I love, Revolution. There's a couple locations, not horribly far from me, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Uh, but they have all their beers on tap. There's like 10 or 12 different beers, good atmosphere, good food. So yeah, that would be like the place I enjoyed. It has like an old school bar feel to it, where like an old tavern where you could just sit at the bar, or if you
Oh,
want to just,
yes.
sit in a corner and drink with all the young people you can. But yeah, so you just sit at the bar, order a burger or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Revolution. That's probably one of my favorite spots to go to.
That was my next question,
Yeah.
actually. What kind of bar would be the perfect, well, not perfect bar, but like, what's the bar that you would love to go to more than anything? Do you like to go to those bars that have the big fucking screen TVs with the sports, or you want to go to the dingy bar where
Uh,
it's kind of dark and then, you're just out there just, drinking your beer, talking to close friends. Hey, what's up?
yeah, I mean, if you want to have a TV on with no sound, just so it's on there, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I'm more like the old taverns, uh, things like that. Chicago's a great tavern city. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's probably still more taverns here than anywhere else in the country. You just
Yeah.
go, it's got that smell to it. You got your old school bartenders. Yeah, and you just talk to, all the regulars. You sit there, you have your drink, enjoy yourself, have a good time. Maybe, there's darts or there's pool back there to play.
Darts and pool. That's
Yeah,
that's my go-to right there, man.
yeah,
You just hit my liver spot.
yeah.
Darts and. Are you a fan of like? Have you played darts and pool like in the bar league or the dart league?
No,
Or-
no, just, casually. So I'm not good at it. If I'm good, it's because I got lucky. So I don't play it enough where I would consider myself good at all
Yeah,
at it.
but we could wait, hold on. I want to see something here. Famous. Uh, because I want to see if oh, they don't show the thing because I thought there was like a show or something that was based in Chicago at like a bar, but I think I'm thinking of Cheers probably.
Yeah, that was Boston.
Yeah, that was Boston and all that. I thought there was like a Chicago area bar that was like made from a TV show kind of thing or something like that. I don't know, but that was like Now I guess that Revolution, we call that.
Revolution, yeah.
Yeah, that could be. We call it a TV show kind of thing as well, right? Would you think, or you know?
Yeah, they're both pretty big. Both locations are, you know, actually one's bigger than the other. But yeah, it's just a brewery. You know, I don't even know if you can get a mixed drink there. It's probably just all their stuff,
Yeah,
maybe wine, or I'm sure they have like pop and stuff like that for
yeah,
people that
yeah,
don't
yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got young people in there, but for me, it's more of an old school tavern. You sit at the bar, you know, you order your food if you want. If not, you just order your beers. You sit down, bullshit with the people around you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good spot.
What's your favorite food to like order from the bar? Is there a
Eh,
preference, or you just
if
go
I'm
like,
sitting at a bar, you know, it's probably just a burger
nah,
or, you know, a pizza, you know, something like that. Just regular bar food, maybe some, you know, mozzarella sticks, something like
eh,
that.
oh, mozzarella sticks. You just
Yeah,
hit my fucking stomach a load now too.
yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, I just had like, well, I didn't have mozzarella sticks. I had like Chinese food, but um, I should have thought about Revolution. I should have thought of mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
But oh, that's gonna be a good thing.
Mm.
Um, oh, what else is there? There was like another thing of going on. Um, all right. Now I got this question, and I got this from another podcast. The podcast is Dads on Dayquil. You probably
Oh,
heard
yeah.
of them. You talked to them. No? They had this thing where it's called 86. So if anything you could think of, if you want to 86 something, like anything in life, what would you go in 86?
Oh, that's tough. There's a lot. How
Eh,
long's your show, brother? How long do we have? Yeah.
Hey, I usually go like an hour and a half or something, so we
Yeah.
just going on, like that. So
I don't know. There's a lot. I think, you know, recently, you know, this whole bullshit with invading the Ukraine, just let them fucking be. You
yeah,
know, don't be killing these innocent people. So that's probably at the top of my list right now.
okay,
I got a segment on the show where I call out people as jagoffs. You know, a jagoff is just like kind of like a clown, a jamoke,
yeah,
somebody like that. So I probably whack a lot of jagoffs in the world, just stupid fucking people doing
yeah.
dumb
There
shit.
is a
Like
lot of
there's
those.
one that these guys are like harassing Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies, saying, you know, oh, they're fattening and all. Leave the fucking Girl Scouts alone. They're sitting there selling cookies. Why bother a fucking Girl Scout? You know, people
Yeah.
like that, get out of here.
You got like you got nothing to do with them bother like little
Yeah,
kids and shit. I'm like, what the fuck,
yeah,
dude?
yeah. They're like
Uh,
10-year-old girls selling cookies. Why are you harassing them?
I was like, you want to harass them? Like, harass me. Come on,
Yeah,
harass me. And see, oh well, I can't do that. And I'm like, what? Because I'm not a little girl. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I understand where you're coming
yeah,
from with the whole,
yeah,
jack offs. There's a whole
yeah,
bunch of. Actually, my opinion for like a jack offs is the people that call you up for your there's oh, you got to pay this bill or this and that, or because they just call you and then you answer, but then nobody doesn't say anything, and then you hang up, and then they're like, well, listen, we called you. I'm like, no, somebody called. You didn't call because you didn't say nothing.
yeah. It was some automated
Yeah, the
robot thing or
automated thing,
whatever.
and you just call it. I mean, that's why I like. I don't like automated shit.
Yeah.
It's like, give me somebody, especially when you're going to try to do your bill.
Mhm.
You go on there, you're ready to go and do your bill, and it's like, oh, how can I help you? I'm like, representative. What? I
Yeah.
can help you a lot better. No, representative. Right,
Yeah.
right there, that representative. Right, just give me a fucking person.
Yeah.
A real
You're sitting
fucking
here
person.
pushing zero on your phone a million times trying to try
Yeah.
to get somebody with a pulse.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, it's like the person, and then the person comes on there, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, didn't I just fucking talk to a robot? It's like, no, I'm a
Yeah.
human being. I'm like, oh, so sorry. Okay, you
Yeah.
just sound like one of them, you know. But so, what goes on for beer in front now?
Uh, you know, nothing like, you know, during the week, like I put my thing out on Wednesdays, sometimes a day early, sometimes a day late, but they say 90% of the time I put it out on Wednesday nights. Um, So like on the weekends, if my wife and I aren't doing anything, I kind of like start getting ready. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like there's podcasters that have like a month worth of shows in the can. I'm jealous. I'm not that guy. I record my shit like the day before and
Yeah.
put it out. I wish I was, you know, that energetic where I could have like a month worth of shows ready to go. I'm just not that guy. So on the weekend I'll start, scouring the news, see what's happened. I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of know ahead of time, like, all right, this week I'm going to have this beer. So I'll make sure I go out and, run to the store and pick it up. I'll grab that. I'll do
Yeah.
research on it, like on the brewery,
Okay.
stuff like that. And then, like, I'll do a little recording, Monday, some Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'll finish up the last segment, edit it all down, which is I'm sure as you know, it's the biggest pain in the ass.
You
And
know
then
what?
put it out Wednesday night.
I don't know anything about editing because I just do it like say like this as it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's raw, uncut, boom. That's where it goes.
Yeah.
It's like once I'm done and we talk and everything else, doesn't matter. I'm not going to edit anything of it. The only thing I would edit, and I don't even think of it as editing, is like when you because this is like video for like YouTube, but also audio
Yeah.
for the platform you use.
Yeah.
So I would go and do like I do Anchor and
Yeah.
then I get do the audio. But the only thing I would do is like whatever we talk about, like say Hunt for Red October or beer parties or even friends,
Mm-hmm.
put in there like a little snip clips or whatever,
All right.
and then do a little music thing or whatever, and then like a promo, and then or an intro kind of thing. And then that'll be it. And then I'll do my little shtick of the thing in the end. Like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Why are you still here? Let's go. Like that kind of thing. Like you like a Mel Brooks kind of
All
thing
right.
towards the end. And then uh but that's what and then when you're mentioning about like other people that do this whole thing where they have a stockpile of stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. Because like as of right now, like this will probably down like in a month and a half down the
All right.
line. But if you wanted to go jump ahead, like say get it out there so you can, want to have somebody go and buy a certain thing or something, or you have something planned for, I don't know, like for instance, there was a podcast called Geek Exploration,
All right.
and they were doing a Kickstarter thing where they're trying to get this comic book that they made get off the ground and people going and want to try to move it along.
All
So
right.
it's like, oh, the Kickstarter is going to end, uh, you know, like fucking like in 8 days or some shit.
Yeah. So you want to get that out to
Yeah,
plug
so
that
it's
in.
like,
Yeah.
can you go and send, get this out there beforehand? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Anybody else is like, all right. So right now, like, say for instance, like right now, I got, I had to say it. Aaron
Yeah.
from I had to say it. I got his second podcast that I did. We called not with him, but he did it on my show, and that was in December. So I still got episodes from December, even before December of Christmas until now. So I got like about 14 or 15.
No, you could
Like,
take a nice vacation and still be pumping shit out every week.
yeah, no, exactly. That's what I like. I'm always the one that always, uh, I never really go like spur of the moment, I guess.
Mhm.
I'm always like, uh, you know, planning shit out. And
Mhm.
just like I want to have stuff for each week, so that way, like you said, if I do a vacation, at least I can put the shit out there, and then it's still good. I don't have to worry about like, oh shit, I gotta do this.
Yeah. And Anchor, you could like, I mean, I used to be on Anchor and I dropped them, but you could like have it ready to go and just say, hey, put this out on, April 15th, or, you pick a date
Yeah,
and it's going to drop. Right? Okay.
yeah. Because they got this little thing in the corner. He's like, oh, you want this to go this day or whatever, or you want to do it now. Like that kind of thing.
All
So.
right.
But now they changed it like all around, which is good. And it's like, oh, you could put stuff for Spotify
Yeah.
and whatnot, and do like other shit or whatever. But Also, and speaking of which, let's tell where they can find beer in front, and where you can find Dave, and what Dave's gonna be doing, and
Yeah, you could find me at all the places. If you listen to a podcast, just search beer in front. You'll find it there. On Twitter and Instagram, it's just beer in front, all one word. You can find
right,
me on there. I don't do Facebook or any of
yeah,
that other shit. I'm too old for that. I don't do that stuff. I have a website, beerinfront.com, but it started to be too costly for the amount of people that go to it.
yeah,
So if you go to Beer in Front, it's still there, but it's done through WordPress, and you know, it's hard to justify pumping in a couple $100 a year if no one's going to it.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't do as much with the website. Maybe down the road, if things pick up, then yeah, I'll go back to it. But it's hard to justify the cost when no one's making money doing this shit. We're doing this for our own personal enjoyment.
Yeah, see, that's what I've been saying. I mean, we're doing this for like fun. This is like,
Yeah.
like a hobby kind of thing and all that. And I mentioned that to there was a place, like I was trying to like I could see that you using the microphones
Mhm.
and everything else, and I got the microphones as well, but I haven't really used it because the setup here is pretty good as it is. So I
Mhm.
mean, you can hear me very well. It's not like I'm spotty or something,
Yeah.
and and everybody else, like, they didn't say anything, like, give me any messages saying, listen, we can't really understand your
Mhm.
stuff or whatever. But, um, because I went to go and get the certain stuff. When I started out, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was
Oh
using
yeah.
my phone. That was
Yeah.
it. I got, like, Anchor on the phone. I did this. I started talking on the phone. I did every day, like, in my car, and just
That's
like,
like what's his name? You ever talk to Micro Break? Michael
no,
from Micro Break. He did the same thing. His first like couple shows were just in his car on the way to work. Just did it on his phone through Anchor.
yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah, it doesn't. You don't need $1,000 microphone and all this other shit.
no,
You can just
no.
use your cell phone.
But what's funny is like when I did the thing, like when I go and have people coming on, like I'll have like guests, but you couldn't really do like here for Zoom,
Mhm.
and then I would do it through Anchor. But sometimes, like, because I think with my car I had um I was doing it through oh, what the hell, the sync of the radio.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the feedback, I guess, from the radio,
Hmm.
and then I would talk to the people, that whoever, it could be a band, it could be a friend of mine, it could be a guy that's a wrestling referee,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden I'll listen to it back, and you can hear that person like he's in the studio. But then
Yeah,
when I'm talking, it feels like I'm on a phone, like in fucking Tahiti,
yeah,
calling in, to a radio station or some shit. So, but the my other point was like when I went to go and see about these stuff, after I got the phone and everything else, I was like, I need to get something. So I wanted to get one of those LaPlaire or something that you put on your, you put the
oh
microphone
yeah,
in
those
here.
little lapel mics. Yeah,
Yeah, the lapel mics and all that. So I went to this place and I'm like, yeah, I bought this thing. What do I need to do this? And it's like, well, you need this, you need this, you need this. And I'm like, really? How much is that? It's like, this is like $300. And I'm like, really? I'm just doing a podcast. Well, it's a business. I'm like, I'm doing it for fun. It's going to turn out to be a business. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do it for fun. Trust us. You're going to be doing a business. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? But they are right to a certain point, because you got that online store now. You got your, like you said, the beer site thing, beer in
yeah,
front site that you have that you put in like $100 in. Um, and then we got the sites for like shirts and stickers and
yeah.
magnets and whatnot, and shower curtains.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
folks. Yes, folks. I got shower curtains on my site.
Oh, I got. Yeah, I got. You want some yoga pants, brother? I got you. I can get you
Oh,
some beer in front yoga pants if you need it. I
I,
think you would look good in those.
I don't know that, Dave.
Yeah.
I never really
I
tried
think
yoga pants
your
myself.
ass would look good in those yoga pants, brother.
That you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Squid is going to get yoga pants.
Yeah,
Yeah, my girlfriend's gonna be like, "Listen, I don't know what the hell you're drinking,"
yeah.
but I'm like, "I'm drinking iced tea, honey. That's all I'm doing."
Just blame Dave. Just throw it
Yeah,
on Dave. Hey, it's
Dave's the
that
one
guy in
that's been
Chicago.
drinking.
It's that jagoff in Chicago. It's his
Yeah,
fault. Yeah,
yeah. Dave's the one that's been drinking, telling me I gotta wear yoga
yeah,
pants. Okay, fine, I'll do it. If Dave told you to jump over the bridge, will you do it? I'm
yeah.
like, yeah. Well, he gave me yoga pants, so I'll
Yeah.
think I'll jump the bridge. Yes.
I wouldn't do that because here's the story. I cannot drive over a bridge. I have the worst panic attacks,
Oh,
anxiety. If I'm
really?
in the car, if you were driving, I'm good.
Yeah.
If I'm driving, I break out in a sweat, white knuckle. It's the
Oh.
worst. Whatever, I cannot drive over a bridge. So I would never tell you to jump off a bridge.
That it's funny that you mentioned because we call it whenever my wife was different. She would drive over bridges, which is no problem. Now I never thought of it. I never even like knew about it until she was sick with cancer. But I don't know if that was the case. But like I was always doing the driving, which is fine. And I was driving. We go over a bridge, and like when you go into a bridge, like say you get over to the George Washington Bridge or whatever,
Mhm.
and then you are gonna get stuck in traffic, especially on the bridge. And then that bridge is like then you feel the car going, doing
Yeah.
that wave kind of thing, and then she'll start freaking out, and she goes, "What? Can we move? Can we keep going? Can we go?" I'm like, honey, it's going. It's just, we're gonna. It's like, holy shit, and she's freaking out. I'm like, I never seen that, but I understand your situation. That with the
Yeah.
whole thing that about.
But yeah, it's only when driving. Like years ago, 30 years ago, went to San Francisco and did all the tourist shit. Walked over Golden Gate Bridge. It's not afraid of heights. I look down on Golden
Yeah.
Gate Bridge. It's driving. If I'm behind the wheel, maybe it's like a control thing. I don't know. I can't do it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I'm afraid of heights as it is.
Hmm.
So like me flying wise, I'm like nowadays if I'm gonna go and fly, I don't know. Usually I go and drink something. I have to drink like
Yeah.
major amount of alcohol just to get on the plane and just to
Yeah.
be on the plane. I'll be like that. I'll be like that guy on. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Stewardess School.
No.
Well, it's like I'm not gonna say it's an up to date movie. It's a like an '80s movie, like all those
All right.
'80s movies that came out. You got Ski School, you got Out Cold, you got this, you got that, whatever. This one was called Stewardess School, which is like basically, uh, you got your mixed bag of different people.
All right.
So they're on there, and and a mixed bag of people that's on the movie, and they have to go and do the Stewardess School for some reason. Like there's a hooker in there that like, listen, for you to and the pimp is telling her like, listen, for you to not be in jail, you have to do like a month and a half of the school for the
Hmm.
stewardess school and pass it, and then you're free. You're good. You're done. That's it. No tricks, no tricking, no don't, no legs up in the air, no nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, but come on. And then and it's just funny as hell. But there is a part where they're doing their first airplane stewardess thing. Real life thing, and then automatically there's gonna be something wrong. There's a guy that has a bomb, on the plane, and they're trying to defuse it. And actually, Potsy, was it Potsy? Mouth from
Oh,
Happy
Ralph
Days.
Melf. Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph Mouth. He's in the movie,
All right.
and he's like trying to defuse a bomb. So he's trying to snip this, and then there's this bigger woman that's from Bosom Buddies. I don't know if you remember the show Bosom Buddies. Tom
Oh
Hanks.
yeah. What was that girl's name? Donna something. Redhead or not? The blonde. Is
Yeah,
that
the,
her?
the
Yeah.
blonde. Yeah, Donna Dixon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
but then you got
She's
the,
married to
the
Dan Aykroyd, isn't she?
was she in that married thing right
I
now?
think she might even still be. I remember. I think she's married to Dan Aykroyd. I will have to Google this when the show is over, but
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think she was married to Dan Aykroyd.
Because I know she did. I know they did a movie, Spies Like Us,
Yeah.
with because they did a thing. But I thought because that was like a spur of the moment kind of thing that they both had the same movie, and then they did their Doctor Detroit.
All right.
Detroit. No, okay. But and they did Doctor Detroit together as well. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now it made sense. Now, thanks, clarifying that. Now, Oh, but back to the
They're
movie
still
here.
married.
Oh
Yes, they
yeah,
are married. Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put Dan Aykroyd in here. We're gonna go
Yeah.
and try to do a something on there. Dan Aykroyd, Donna Dixon,
Yeah.
and then yoga pants. Now she will look better in yoga pants than me.
Yeah. She'd look a lot better than both of us. Yeah. Both
That
of us put together.
you know. But so the movie goes like there's a part where the guy, guy's flying, and I guess he does not like to fly. So there's the guy with the bomb. Ralph Mouth is, defusing the bomb, and there's this guy sitting there, and he's like frantic. He's like, I don't, yeah. And then all of a sudden they don't know what to do. They hold him down. And he's all freaking out. So the girl that's a prostitute, she's like, all right, everybody out of the way, And then she grabs like a blanket and she goes down on him, the blanket. You see the head just going, like that. And then the lady that's like, doing this whole like, oh, let's see if they're doing the right thing, And all of a sudden she's like, oh, what the, like she never knew what was that about. And the guy was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he got relieved.
Yeah.
But it was just a funny movie as it is. So it's like something to put on your queue of
Yeah.
to see what. I don't know if they have it anymore. You might have to like rent it or something.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I haven't looked for it either. So
Yeah,
I'll have to
but
look
it's not like
Netflix or Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, it's not like we can go to Blockbuster anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I miss that. I miss going to Blockbuster. Just go in there. Obviously, just driving down there. Like, listen, I need a movie. That's like $3.
Yeah.
That's it. And you get like 18 of them. And you're trying to watch them all in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're pretty much like at the point of like the end of the show. So yeah, I think you told them where you're going to be at, where they can find you.
Yeah. Anywhere you listen to a podcast, if you just do a search for Beer in Front, you'll find me there. And plus, like I said, on socials, they follow you on social. We tag each other in a lot of shit, so I'm sure
definitely.
they've
Yeah,
come
yeah.
across us. I appreciate you, brother, because you're always like supporting all of the indie shows like mine, all your other friends.
Yeah.
That's the one good thing I love about this community is like everybody's out for each other. We all know
Yeah.
the shit we go through every week or every month trying to put this together. Everybody's like terrific with, plugging each other's stuff, putting the word out.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you, Drake, because you're one of the best at it. Like you and, what's her name? Kelly from Drunk Theory.
Oh yeah.
Always
Kelly Madden.
promoting
Yeah.
everybody. I appreciate you a lot, man.
Oh, thank you, Dave. I appreciate you too, because you're always doing our stuff as well. And it's
Yeah.
like, but let's put the honorable mentions here. Honorable mentions, Kelly, and she's a bartender.
Real quick,
Yes.
can you hear my heater just kicked on? Can you hear me? You need me to close the door?
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's good. Kelly Mann does, and actually she does mixed drinks.
Yeah.
She's like
Yeah,
a bartender herself, I think.
I know. I got to get Kelly some of the Chicago liquor. I got to send it out to her. Yeah, Kelly puts together some weird shit.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna give her some yoga pants. I'm like, listen.
No.
Like,
Yeah, no.
unless that's just for me.
Kelly's great. Kelly's great for independent podcasters. Kelly's the best. I love her.
Yeah.
She was on the show maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just Kelly, because you didn't have like the whole Drunk Theory guys.
No, it was just asked them, but whatever scheduling or whatever, she was the only one that was available at that time.
Yeah, I think that's what the whole case was like me, because I keep on asking them, and then it's like trying to get all 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's like, and I hate saying about presidential shit, but it's like trying to get the president to come to fucking Oxford,
Yeah.
or whatever, or just come to the Long Island. Like, hey, listen, you want to go to the bar? No, I can't really go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should try doing that, Kelly. Get Kelly just by herself, actually.
Yeah, any of them solo, but yeah, no, I had Kelly on the show. She was a blast, a lot of fun, great episode. Yeah, a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, if you're gonna get like somebody that's like drink wise and all that, I say get Chat Smash.
Yeah, you know what? And like we follow each other, and that's the only bad thing about like this is we have so many friends on social media. There's not enough time in the day to like listen to everybody, and they're
Oh, I
always
know.
like somebody like I gotta start listening to them, and then like you put out a show or this person, I'm like, oh, I gotta listen to them, and then like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
forget about it. So they're on my list of like this is a show I need to start
yeah.
catching up on.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I usually like whenever I do like when I interview, well, not interview, but like when I go and chat with other people, like every weekend I have like I got Dave, I got people because that's already listed until like fucking almost end of April. So I still
Yeah.
got like every Friday and Saturday and possibly Sunday,
Mhm.
something going on. But now I would go and try to listen, and my girlfriend was saying this. We call it, and she's always saying like, listen, before you do the thing, make sure you listen to one, maybe two episodes,
Yeah.
so that way you know where you're at and you know what you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, but the shit I talk about, I just it's spur of the moment. It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter pertaining to them or mine.
Mhm.
Yeah, we still have fun talking.
Yeah. We
You
didn't even
know.
talk about ink.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I was going to ask you about that. I seen one thing on your hand, on your right. I think it
Mhm.
is. No. Yeah. Actually, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it wasn't what I thought it was.
Oh, it's upside down. Yeah, it's a ball
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
chain. I
Oh,
mentioned
okay.
earlier in the show my favorite band, Social Distortion.
Yeah.
They're big. They never really had a hit record, but their biggest song was called Ball and Chain.
Oh,
Always
okay.
loved the song, so that's one of them. I not as
You,
decorated as you. I
yeah,
probably have 11
you
or
have like an
12.
anchor or like a cross or something. I thought it said something that looks like a cross or something on.
I have the Prince
Oh,
tattoo.
that's what. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah, because I'm a huge Prince fan, so I have that.
Yeah.
But probably my favorite tattoo. My nephew is autistic, and he's
Yeah.
not a kid anymore. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
But he was, 10, 11, something like that. And he drew me this picture of this lizard.
Hmm.
And, you know, he used to live back at my first wife. They lived like a couple 100 feet away. So
Yeah.
on weekends, I'm like, Bobby, come over. We'll watch a Disney movie. We'll watch something,
Yeah.
we'll watch that. So, and he would always color and draw. So we drew this lizard. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he was like, oh, this is Bill the Lizard. I'm like, okay. So I put it on the refrigerator. Like he would draw me shit. I throw it on the
Oh, yeah,
refrigerator.
exactly. That's awesome.
So he came by like the next week and he's like looking at it. He's like, you have Bill the Lizard on the refrigerator. I'm like, yeah, you drew this for me. I like it, so I put it here. He drew me like 100 of them.
Oh,
But the
shit.
first one was like genuine, pure. I loved it. So that's on my leg. That's like my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah, yeah.
tattoo. And then like I remember because I had it done maybe a year afterwards. And I went over and showed him and he's looking at my leg like he knew he drew that, but he knew he didn't draw it on my leg. He wasn't
Yeah,
coloring on my leg. So he's like, he's just looking like, how the hell did that get on your leg?
yeah,
So, but yeah, that's my favorite. I'm the most proud of that one.
yeah.
I love that tattoo.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We
Yeah.
call it, you should have like stuff donated to like, like doing autism or something like
Hmm.
that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do actually, because I got a niece that is autistic. Not a lot autistic, but
Hmm.
I mean, from what my personal thing, or not personal, but I mean, a doctor that my sister saw said we call it like, well, your daughter's not really autistic per se. You need to be having like 12 to like 20 things wrong
Hmm.
to be deemed autistic. She only has like two or three.
Hmm.
So, but as it is, when she first got born, and I was living in Pennsylvania, and then I just got like a baby in a um, like angel wings,
Okay.
and then her name is Autumn, so I put like autumn leaves like in the background and
All
all
right.
that. But then also I got the light bulb with the puzzle piece
Hmm.
that's in it, so I got that like on my leg too. So I put that around it, and then a friend of mine did it. He's like, "Hey man, no questions asked. I'm not gonna ask about it." And I'm like, "You want something done? I'll get it done."
Yeah.
And that was it. And he didn't charge me at all, so which is a double plus, you know.
Yeah.
So, so how much tattoos do you have? Do you have just
I
like
have
the
like,
arms and the legs, and that's it, or
yeah, I got like one on my leg, mostly on my right arm. I
yeah?
have like one on my left, and it's been God 5 6 years since I've had my last one, so
All
I'm
right.
due. I'm
Yeah,
long
you're
overdue.
gonna once you get yourself set and straight,
Yeah,
and, you know, be able to
yeah,
go out that world and
yeah. I've got
um,
the Chicago flag on one arm.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Most
stars
of the
and everything.
shits on my right arm.
Yeah, yeah. Once you we call it, you know, get straight and everything else, and you go out there and you're like, listen, I
Yeah,
need to get something. You
yeah,
know, just put something on there, but don't make it look so yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's what my tattoo artist is like. Well, what do you want to get? I'm like anything that doesn't look like like girlish.
Yeah.
Anything that's good. I just don't want to be like no fairies, no this, no that, whatever.
I think you look nice. You get the nice tramp stamp with the yoga pants,
No,
brother.
no, no.
Yeah, you're gonna be good.
I don't even go that far doing a tramp stamp yet. No, no. You know, I have. Thank God I don't drink anymore. Because if I did, I probably would get that tramp stamp. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's like baby on board. Wait, what the hell is that? I don't know. But Dave, thank you for being on the show. This is like intuitive with the beer
Mhm.
and everything about Chicago and your upbringing of of all the stuff going on. And I appreciate you. Like you were appreciating what I did, and I
Mhm.
appreciate what you're doing with the helping each other out and people when you go and do a podcast, always go to Twitter. I mean, but yeah, you go to Twitter or you can go to Instagram and always promote, 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 promote.
Yeah.
You know, and when you go and say, "Listen, I got this podcast and I'm doing this and that," what am I supposed to do? Just put your episode out. And once you put the episode out, you know, I'm probably stepping on Pixie's fucking toes right now, but
Yeah.
because she's telling everybody how to do the shit. So when you do your episode and you publish it, and then you go and put it on Twitter, and you're like, listen, here's my thing. It's gonna go, and we are gonna retweet it. We're gonna do this, and
Mhm.
then you want to get like 500 followers, or you want to get 5,000 followers, or whatever. We would all help out to get you to that milestone.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We're all in this boat together. Nobody. I mean, I don't feel it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Nobody's like competing against each other.
Oh no,
Like,
definitely not.
you know, we all want everyone to succeed. Like, we all appreciate the work that goes into it. So, yeah, we
Yeah.
everybody wants each other to succeed, even if it's like if we were doing the same show, nobody gives a shit. We just if you do a good show, maybe they'll like your show and say, "Hey, I'm going to go listen to this guy." So,
Yeah.
even if like it's true crime or comedy or something like that, nobody's backstabbing each other. Everybody's like looking out for each other. That's
Oh yeah.
one of the main things I like about this.
Yeah, we call it. I had who would I have yesterday? I had oh, Paige from Reverie True Crime Podcast.
Okay. Hmm.
She is an awesome person. That person can deep dive fucking information on anything. And she did a. You like music? Have you listened to Pantera and all that, or
I'm not. I've never been a big Pantera. I mean, obviously I know who they are,
yeah,
but I've never been like a big Pantera fan.
yeah. I mean, she did like the deep dive on how the guitarist got shot.
Oh, okay, Dimebag. Yeah.
Yeah, Dimebag. So when he got shot on stage, and like I said, when I say deep dive, I say that we call that she dives into the person that shot him, what his upbringing was, his upbringing. Um, he had mental issues, and then what the place they were at, what state, how many people were there, how many, what kind of band aid had that on their forehead. I don't know. She had like everything going on. And she was so cool. We were just going over a bunch of different shit and just shooting the shit, like horror
Mhm.
movies and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's going to be coming out like in a month or something down the
Okay.
line. So, but folks, also, and I always do this. I always forget about myself now. You can catch me. We call it go to Linktree linktr.ee / not not the guitarist from Guns N' Roses, but just slash Tattoo Squid Podcast. That's TATOSQUID. And you get everything from Instagram, TikTok, a whole bunch of slew of other shit. Good Pods, you know. It might not be fixed yet, but Good Pods is on it. And that's what's cool about that too. You go to different places and you can upload anything to anywhere, and Good Pods always give you a good and rankings.
Yeah.
And I see you up there, brother. You're up there in like good, fucking rankings up there, man. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't, the last couple months have been good. Still not great. Like I said, I'm not making any money. I mean, although I got my first promo in 2 weeks. I got a company that went through Podcorn and sold them an idea. So they're going to be on in a couple weeks. I'm going to have a giveaway where it's uh it's a hydration packet. So you put it in like your cup of water
yeah,
and it gives you all the vitamins and shit like that. So you stay
nice.
hydrated throughout the day. So yeah, no one's making money off of it, but it's been doing well. It's been catching on the last couple months, so that's good.
Where can they find that actually? Yeah.
I've got all the stuff. I'll talk about it in a couple weeks because
Okay.
it's called Hydronique.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it's I'll never. I'm gonna have to look at the product in front of me to spell it. But
Yeah,
I
we
mean, you can
could.
find their stuff on Amazon. But it's like really good. Like especially like for me, I talk about beer. You go to these beer festivals, you're going to be drinking all day. You want
Yeah.
to stay hydrated because you're really going to get fucked up. So we're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
talk about that. I'll have a giveaway on that. And actually, 2 weeks. Today's we're recording this on March 13th, so I'll have that out in a couple weeks. And hopefully, I'll work with this guy, in the future on different promos, stuff like that.
I'm gonna try that out. We call it,
Yeah,
to get hydrated, especially when you're working in a warehouse. You
yeah,
can use that as well. I guess I don't know,
yeah,
but folks, follow Beer in Front, follow Dave, and go check out all the beers of your beer enthusiast. Go and check him out, and he has the suds to give to your muds. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know. I tried to spell it. It didn't work out
yeah.
too well. But you know, and also if you and if you can get like sponsors from beer places, you be set. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been working on that. It's kind of hard to come by. I got one place out in Alaska, of all places. They've
Right.
hooked me up with some stuff, and I've talked about them. But whatever. Every little bit helps, and we'll keep plugging along.
Yeah, it's like I tried to get some other shit going on here, but yeah. We'll talk about that in a little bit, after
Yeah,
the show and all that.
yeah,
So folks, follow, go to Linktree, like I said, linktr.ee/, I mean not, just slash Tattoo Squid Podcast, TATOSQUID. Go to Dave's Beer in Front. That's the whole word beer in front. And that's on Twitter, and you go to Instagram and follow, like, you know. Oh, and I gotta say this because I keep on forgetting to tell this to people. I'm like, listen, when you go and listen to, like say Spotify, or you listen on Anchor, like, support, drop some ducats or whatever if you want, that way you can see about the whole, what episode is going to come up next, and go on YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit that hit that Taco Bell fucking bell, you know, um, so that way, because I'm gonna have like video stuff of this and of future people I talk to, you know, and the ones I do talk to, I still have to put out there. We call so just just hit the follow and notification, and you'll see what pops up next. You know, and then hopefully we all get some kind of cash ducats.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. I mean I like doing this stuff. This is like you said, we're doing this for like like a hobby kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's either that or or shooting squirrels out of a tree or something. I don't
Yeah,
know,
keeps
but
me out of the bar.
yeah, it keeps us out of the bar and keeps us like just sane in our house a little bit. Just
Yeah.
the nice comforts of home.
Mhm.
But Dave, thank you. And like I said, I'm going to talk to you in a little bit. We'll talk about spandex or whatever, the yoga pants,
Yeah.
whatever, like that. But
All right, well, Dre, man, thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it, Dre. You're the
yeah,
best, man.
man. No problem, no problem. So,
Yeah.
all right, folks, have a good night. It's Sunday. It's unusual that we do a Sunday, but hey, I do everything for anybody that,
Mhm.
whatever day fits them, I go and
Yeah.
do that day. So, and also Elvira, call me. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody take it easy.